What does it take to be a successful online charity? In the age of the internet, people have the ability to access so much more information and the ability to look at so many different things that you can't just stand out on a page flashing something and get them to donate. They're just going to walk away and find something else. How can a organization stand out and make someone want to donate to them? One successful fundraiser I'm sure you're all aware of recently has been the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. The way this challenge worked, for those who are unaware, is you took a bucket of cold water, poured it on your head, told your friends to do the same, and then were supposed to go donate money to ALS research. Whether or not you thought this fundraiser was silly or if it was just a bunch of people trying to be popular or follow the crowd, the numbers don't lie. This fundraiser raised $115 million in the summer this year. Compared to last year's numbers, this is a gigantic increase. And while it might not be exponential as the graph likes to claim, it is an amazing accomplishment for the organization. However, what do they do with this money? This money goes to ALS research. There is no such thing as ALS treatment or cure, and no cures for ALS at the moment either. So what does this mean? It means that even though they managed to raise so much money, there may not be any direct effects for it for some significant time. People like Stephen Hawking, or even those with milder cases of ALS, will not see rewards from this anytime soon. Another charity event that takes place on the internet much more frequently is the Extra Life stream. Extra Life is an organization that is run by a bunch of gamers on the internet who all set up pages and ask their fans to give them money, which they will then send to the Children's Miracle Network. They send all the money minus what it takes to run the service for the event to the to Kids Miracle Network. While over 4 years or 5 years, the Extra Life has raised significantly less money than the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge managed to raise in just one summer. Extra Life does something different with its money. Instead of sending it to research for disease, they send it directly to the Children's Miracle Network. Children's Miracle Network basically pays for operations or helps kids who are in the hospital and need money to get through an operation. It helps them get their operation done. While this kind of charity has a direct effect on someone's lives, and you can feel like you're doing something good. However, because this is the internet, you attract a lot of attention to yourself, and by being such a consistent stream, in order to be successful on the internet, Extra Life has to deal with a lot of issues from not so nice people deal on the internet. During their last year's event, their website was DDoS, so basically someone took down their website and no one could help them out. FreeRice.com is another charitable organization on the internet. While they haven't been doing quite as well as they used to, the website works by basically you answering a bunch of multiple choice trivia questions or on any subjects you felt like. And for every question you got right, 10 grains of rice were sent to help people through the World Hunger Organization. As you can see, the amount of money that has been, or the number of grains of rice that have been donated over the past few years has decreased significantly, especially since 2008. They still raised a very significant amount of money for food. Have you ever wondered how your favorite YouTuber makes money? While Google does give you the ability to monetize your account, that's often not enough for some smaller YouTubers to get there, to make it by, or make YouTube their primary profession. One YouTuber who I watch goes by the name of Sethling, and he often live streams video games and does this for a living. Whenever he's live streaming, he has a secondary link in the description of the video that allows you to go to another page and give him money directly instead of having to deal with Google taking money through YouTube. Well, this isn't exactly charity. It's another way of gaining capital from a community on the internet, similar ways that charity tries to do things. Another way of getting money on the internet is through these crowdfunding websites and Kickstarters that have become incredibly popular. While they aren't always used specifically for charitable purposes, there have been some really big projects that have been funded, upwards of $56 million for the largest one for a video game. Sometimes, though, Kickstarters are used precisely for charity. While the Iraqi Refugee Assistance Project didn't actually use Kickstarter.com, it did raise money in a crowdfunding in order to gain money to help people who are translators in Iraq get refugee status in the US because it's not exactly safe for them. Another common way to use Kickstarters and crowdfunding for charitable purposes is for when people want to make a project or a high school club wants to raise money to go to a tournament or get new supplies. This is a very charitable use of Kickstarters, and it's a way of people reaching out and saying, hey, look what we can do can you give us money? In order to be a successful charity online, you really have to try hard to stand out. With a single click on a Google search bar, millions of results are returned to you. And who has ever gone past the first or maybe even second page of results when looking for something? In order to get people's attention and get them to want to give you money, you have to do something different. On the internet, it's not just like going to a cash register at a supermarket and being asked, "Do you want to donate to the March of Dimes?" It's really awkward to deal with interaction, and a lot of people just pay in order to get out of that interaction. But on the internet, you can just install AdBlock, and all those flashing notifications saying, "Can you help us?" instantly go away. But in the end, how do we define success for a charity online? Do they just need to get a bunch of money? If someone takes your money and runs with it, was that a successful charity event? They didn't return anything to you. Does that make a charity? Or do they have to do something with that money? As huge as the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge was, do they count as a successful charity event? They raised $115 million for research towards ALS. But in the end, maybe 10, 15 years down the road, if they have nothing to show for that research, does that mean the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is a failure? I would say yes, because in order to be successful, not only do you have to be able to convince people to give you money, you also have to give them something back in return and show them that you did something good with it. I like this comic because it demonstrates this idea that even if you can convince someone to give you money, they're not going to give it to you unless they believe they're doing something that can help. And if you end up not helping them or not helping the world, then what's the point anyways?